My name is Jody Ford. I'm the head football coach at Central Methodist University. I have with me today our sports information director, Nicholas Petroni, our new athletic director, Brian Spielbauer is here today, and also I have two of our student athletes, one on offense, Paul Stevens, one of our honorable mention all-conference receivers, and then also Connor White, one of our all-conference linebackers. Both young men are seniors for us, and for me, guys, I'm just happy to be here, man. I actually a cool announcement for you, and I've been celebrating for the last 2 weeks now, but I'm cancer-free and fired up about it. I want to say, too, that the people in this conference, and specifically the head coaches, they're absolute class acts. I can't tell you how many emails, how many phone calls, text messages that I've gotten from some of these coaches that I get to, unfortunately have to coach against it. They're all really good. But I tell you, it's a brotherhood in this conference with our coaches, and I really appreciate that. I heard the announcements earlier about how we mean so much to the players and everything, but I can tell you players, you absolutely mean a lot to your coaches with all of us. This was a hard year for me to go through, and getting those messages from Paul and Connor and a lot of guys on the team. And I even had players from Baker University that were texting me, players from Mid-America that were texting me. From all the different schools, somebody was getting in touch with me all the time, and I can't tell you how much I appreciate that. There are some really amazing players in our league, more so than what they do on the field is the people they are off the field. And I'm really proud of not only the team that I coach, but these young men are part of that team, but also the brotherhood of players that we have to go against that are really great people. So really proud to be here, happy to be breathing, and excited for the 2014 season. Any questions?
Coach, first, congratulations on that announcement. We're all really excited to hear that about you. Glad we've seen you on the field again this year. How would you evaluate the transition to a new offensive system last season, and in what ways would you like to see that improve?
Well, the biggest thing is we turned the ball over at a ferocious rate last year. I think that's been the most frustrating thing for all of us as coaches and players. And we felt like we had really good skill. I really felt like the new coaches we brought in, I thought we really upgraded in recruiting, had a much faster team, but there were times where I felt like our kids tried to do too much with the football, whether it was a spin move, whether they're trying to trick somebody and they forgot to take the ball with them. And there comes a point in time where you got to get the 5 yards you can get or whatever it is and get down or just basically take care of the football. And so we really emphasized that this spring. Ball security has been a big thing. Our quarterback play is really important to us. But we feel like, the players that we have around our quarterback this year, we've improved our offensive skill positions. Our offensive line is better. We did lose Bo Amos, obviously, the senior, who was very good for us before he started at left tackle. But that's why we recruited Remington Salama, and that's why we brought in Ricardo Macias, just for those guys to step in. And our hope is that we'll be ready to go this fall and get quarterback play, take care of the football, and do what we need to do defensively to be successful.
Along the lines of offense, your offensive coordinator just left, took a head coaching job. How will his departure affect that side of the ball?
It's huge. I mean, John did a great job for us, recruiting, calling plays, everything, and we're very, that's the thing that's great is if you're doing things right, you're going to have people that want your coaching. You're going to have people that want to hire your own people. And as a head coach, I'm very proud that John had that opportunity. His wife's from where he's going. He's alum from where he's going, and that's where we first met. It was one of my first coaching jobs there. But the great thing is that's why you have people in place. And Doug Brady has been a former offensive coordinator at Lindenwood Belleville. He was our quarterback coach last year, and now he steps into that offensive coordinator role. He and John were basically like co-coordinators last year, as Doug was our pass game coordinator. And thought he did I really felt like in the spring game too, we let John call one side and Doug call the other. And I didn't think Doug took a backseat to John at all. I thought they both called the game very well in our spring game, and feel very fortunate that Doug Brady's with us. And hopefully we'll have Doug Brady for a long time too. But you're going to see people want him as the head coach for some long time. He did a very good job.
Question from Paul: how much better is your understanding of the spread offense in year 2? How do you feel your role will expand this year?
Well, this spring it was interesting because they got me moving around to outside as well as the inside receiver. So offensively, I'm a lot more knowledgeable, especially being the only senior wide receiver on our team. So I have the most experience. And then with Coach Brady, he helped me a lot also with one-on-one and going in and meeting with him a lot. So that's about it.
Also for Paul, I was told your older brother was the offensive coordinator at CMU a couple seasons ago. What was that experience like for you?
It was fun. He taught me the game at this level is more mental now. In high school, you use a lot of your physical, athletic abilities, but at this level, you gotta prepare mentally and focus a lot better, as well as film and whatnot.
Question for Connor, without giving away too many specifics, what's been the focus of your defense in the off season?
I'd definitely say making plays a lot more. Coach Ford came back, spent some time down at Rice University down in Texas. And one thing they emphasized a lot was making plays. You know, it's kind of settled before for, doing your job, but now we're focused more on making plays, getting strips, turnovers, things like that. So we're more focused on making big plays and not just going out and playing.
Connor, with Coach's announcement about his health improving so much, how much of an impact was it having him in and out last year, and what will that do for your team having him back full time this year?
It was definitely tough last year. I remember whenever he made the announcement to the team back behind our main offices, it was a pretty big shock to everybody. And during the season, it was really tough too because you're used to seeing him being energetic, and he brings a lot of enthusiasm in practice. And so without him there, and also he's one of the most football knowledgeable people we meet. So it's definitely tough this year. We kind of take that on as players, but having him back, it's a night and day difference between practice. Not to say practices were lagging in the regular season, but this spring is a lot more up tempo. And everybody's just really happy to see him back and bring along out of the field with us.
And a question for Coach. Injuries took a toll on your secondary last season. You noted after the spring game that you thought that could be a strength. Why are you so confident with that?
Well, I feel better now this year. We thought we were in pretty good shape this time last year, and all of a sudden, about this time last year, we got back and found out two of our starting corners were ineligible. And I'd already suspended one of our corners as well, so there was three starting corners right there when I got back from this that they were not going to be part of our team this upcoming season. So losing those three before the season even started. And then in the preseason, our starting strong safety broke his arm. And then both of our free safeties that started in the backup, one had a hamstring, one had a sprained ankle, so they were out the majority of the season. So basically, there were 6 starting secondary guys that were out by week 2 of the season. And some of them didn't get back until week 7, week 8, whatever it was. But this year, the one thing I got to give credit to, I really like what we did in strength and conditioning before, but the guy that we have right now, Kyle Overweather, with what he's doing with us in strength and conditioning right now, this was the first spring that I've been through where we really had one minor injury the entire spring. Obviously, hopefully we don't have any this fall, but that's been a big thing. I feel like what we're doing in our strength and conditioning wasn't bad before, but it's really good now. And Coach Overweather comes from the Pat Ivy tree. He was with him over at Mizzou and everything. He's done a tremendous job with our guys, and they love working for him. Early mornings and late nights and all the things that they put in. And that's been a big thing for keeping us healthy. But secondary-wise, also we've added a couple players. Russell Perkins was a kid. He was at Texas A&M for a minute, coming in to play strong safety for us, and then also bringing in Brandon Justa from Southeast Missouri State for a minute, having him coming in and play left corner. And then getting Kenny Wells back at the right corner position, and a young man that did some really good things at Hazelwood East High School. And we got a lot more athletic in the spring just by those 3 kids alone. Getting Colton Muir back from the broken arm also. He's been doing some amazing things for us, and we just got a lot more athletic in our secondary. Like Connor said, at the end of the day, they still have to go make plays, but it's nice having those guys out there. And also, too, one thing that's cool about having Paul and Connor now, it's nice getting them back on the same team little bit, because in the spring, you know, it's funny watching how Connor get Paul on the offensive side, and Paul will go back to the huddle and be like, I'm going to get that 25 here in just a few minutes, you know. It may not be till about 25 plays later, but they're going to find each other, and that's been the fun thing too, is just watching the competition, and it's a healthy competition. They don't cheap shot, they're not dirty, they help each other up off the ground, but they love hitting, and that's what I love about watching all these kids play, not only my kids, but the kids of the various teams. There's a lot of kids that I really respect in our league that play the game right and do it